Some fighting words today from President Trump and former President Obama over the Russia investigation. You're watching Outnumbered Overtime now. I'm Harris Faulkner. President Trump has escalated his attacks on his predecessor, taking to Twitter, adopting the term Obamagate, hashtagging it. Attached to theories, the Obama administration worked to sabotage incoming Trump officials, including former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. This sparked by leaked audio of the former President Obama going after the DOJ's decision to dismiss charges against Michael Flynn. Listen to this.
That's the kind of stuff where you begin to get worried that basic, not just institutional norms, but our basic understanding of rule of law is at risk.
And now President Trump is implying that Obama is linked to the FBI's mishandling of the Flynn case. He tweeted this today: Obamagate makes Watergate look small time. This, as Michael Flynn's attorney claims an effort to entrap her client went straight to the Oval Office.
Comey had found and McCabe had found the transcripts of Flynn's call with Kislyak, and he briefed Clapper on it immediately. Clapper then immediately went and briefed President Obama on it. So the whole thing was orchestrated and set up within the FBI, Clapper, Brennan, and in the Oval Office meeting that day with President Obama.
So you think this goes all the way up to the top to President Obama?
Absolutely.
Want to bring in now Fox News chief political anchor Bret Baier, also the anchor and executive editor of Special Report. Good to see you today, Bret.
Hi, Harris.
This would be very serious if those facts hold up. What should we be looking for at this point?
We should be looking for facts, and I think what we're seeing in the decision by the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney who was looking into the Michael Flynn case, we have to wait and see what the judge does, Judge Sullivan, in that case, and that'll be interesting to see. But I think what we're really waiting to see is some other shoes to drop, if you will, for the people who say there's much more here. The Durham investigation is continuing. It's said to be about a month or two away. We've heard that a lot, but that's what we're hearing from Capitol Hill. And I think that you're likely going to see the former president much more engaged. If you have a conference call with 3,000 former staffers, you're doing it to get it out. It's not a private call. And expect him to get much more involved, I think, directly on both the handling of the coronavirus and all of the things that the president is alleging about the Obama administration.
Well, that's interesting that you say the coronavirus with President Obama, because, you know, there has been criticism that he might be able to make more of noise about that than current Joe Biden from his basement. But that's just criticism from critics, obviously. I want to talk about something that happened over the weekend. NBC apologizing after accusations of deceptive editing. Here's the clip along with some commentary. This had to do with Attorney General William Barr. Let's watch together.
Well, history's written by the winner, so it largely depends on who's writing the history.
I was struck, Peggy, by the cynicism of the answer. It's a correct answer, but he's the Attorney General.
You might be struck about how it was edited. Here's the full clip.
Well, history's written by the winner, so it largely depends on who's writing the history. But I think a fair history would say it was a good decision because it upheld the rule of law. It upheld the standards of the Department of Justice, and it undid what was an injustice.
The president retweeted criticism that an apology on Twitter is not enough, and adding, quote unquote, sleepy eyes Chuck Todd should be fired for Comcast, NBC, for this fraud. He knew exactly what he was doing. Public airwaves equals fake news. Bret Baier?
Listen, it wouldn't have been as egregious had the next sentence out of the Attorney General's mouth been concern over the rule of law and the fact of righting a wrong as he saw it and protecting the rule of law. The next thing that Chuck Todd said was, why didn't he talk about the rule of law in his analysis with Peggy Noonan? So listen, we all make mistakes in analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes sound bites aren't complete. But that one was because he was going to the heart of what the Attorney General was getting at. To stop it short, obviously, sent up a lot of red flares. He's not going to get fired, I'm sure, from NBC for that, despite what the president said. But it is, in the president's eyes, an example of how, again and again and again, it always goes that way and not in his administration's favor, the mistakes.